I visited Bengaluru for the first time in 1991. I was en route to Puttaparthi and I had a stopover at Bengaluru where I stayed at a friend's home overnight. The next morning, I went to Kempegowda bus station and I went to the inquiry counter and asked in English. They replied in Hindi. That was my first impression of Bengaluru city. Later, perhaps that was the first time that I interacted with a Kannadiga also. Later, I had many Kannadiga friends when I was studying in Delhi, and later when there I started my career also there from 1997 to 2000. I found that my Kannadiga friends spoke better Hindi. My spoken Hindi skills were poor, but they had better skills. So that was my early impression of Karnataka, Kannadigas. They know better Hindi. There was no antagonism against Hindi. We people from Kerala had little interaction. We knew little Hindi compared to Kannadigas, especially people from Bengaluru. But all that has changed now. From my own experience, I will tell you about that. So, why did Kannadigas develop an antagonism against Hindi? Why are there so many protests in Bengaluru against people from North India and Hindi? Nowadays, we find a lot of videos on social media where Kannadigas are found sometimes attacking or sometimes abusing or criticizing those who speak Hindi. What could be the reason for this change in attitude? I think it's high time that we go to the bottom of the issue and try to find a solution for this. Language chauvinism or fanaticism is not good for India. So let's try to analyze and think out. Welcome to Insights. This is Hari Kumar. So let me continue my encounters with Bangaloreans. After visiting Bangalore in 1991, the second time when I visited Bangalore was I think it was in 2001. Then I spoke that instead of Hindi when I asked in English, even when I spoke in Hindi, some people replied in in English. So I think that there was a change had begun. In 2011-12, I was the Kerala correspondent of Deccan Herald newspaper. And you know the headquarters of Deccan Herald is at Bengaluru, at MG Road, Bengaluru. I visited a few times there since I had to go to the head office. And by that time I found that people were not speaking, Kannadigas were not speaking in Hindi. Though they knew Hindi, they were not interested in speaking Hindi. Especially if they came to know that I am a South Indian, then immediately they will switch over to English. By that time, I had developed some conversational skills in Hindi also. But I am not still fluent. Then, afterwards, my last visit to Bengaluru was in 2022. I booked a room at a small hotel. I was staying there when the room boy came. I spoke to him in Hindi and I gave him a small tip. Then he stared at me. I was actually shocked. Why was he staring at me? He asked me whether I was South Indian or North Indian. I said, I am from Kerala. Then he spoke to me in Tamil. He said, though he is a Kannadiga, he is living on the border with Tamil Nadu. And he even asked me why South Indians should speak in Hindi. So that was a shocker to me. I think the anger was palpable. It was very much visible. Why did people of Bengaluru turn against Hindi, not just the language, against North Indians also? I feel politicians have a major role in this newfound anger or antagonism. I'm not blaming just Kannada politicians. I think both the BJP and the Congress have a role in this. Let's start with the Congress. Congress for the Congress, this is Karnataka is one of the holdovers. I mean, one of the places where still the party is powerful. They cannot afford to lose Karnataka because Karnataka was the place where Indira Gandhi came to contest when she was defeated in Raebareli. So politically, Karnataka was a stronghold of the BJP. You know, Congress President Nijalingappa was from Karnataka. Many stalwarts, Congress leaders were from Karnataka. So Congress could not afford to lose Karnataka, their political stronghold. More important is the fact that Karnataka is a place that supplies major funds to Congress. Now Congress doesn't have any major influence in UP, Bihar or other North Indian states, big states, or they don't have much influence in Tamil Nadu, which is a rich state. So Karnataka and Maharashtra are the two rich states where still Congress has got an influence, and they could ill afford to lose these states. That will cut off the fund supply. So Congress wants to retain their hold at any rate. Now, since BJP has gained a major foothold in Karnataka, by raising religion you cannot beat BJP in Karnataka. So language is one area where if you incite that language emotions, you could resist influx of BJP because you could always portray BJP as a North Indian party, Hindi and Hindu party. So I think Congress has a role in this, and they are mute witnesses. Though they also have their leadership line is also from the north. Even Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi or Priyanka Gandhi could be basically they are residents of North India. But nowadays BJP is more identified with North India. But the BJP, instead of realizing it, played into the hands of the Congress. The present BJP leadership, especially Home Minister Amit Shah and Prime Minister Modi, they don't speak much English. Especially Amit Shah doesn't speak English. I think he understands English. So he wants others to speak, other BJP leaders also to once speak Hindi. There is an aggressive push for Hindi from the side of Amit Shah. And during 2024 elections, I think he, even in some of the public meetings, he made a very inflammatory statement that those who don't know Hindi won't get central government jobs, or all the UPSC examinations will be held in Hindi, or that Hindi is going to be mandatory. Now, no South Indian can accept this because South Indians, though, are not against Hindi. Many South Indians are not against Hindi. Many know Hindi also. But making Hindi the only medium in which you can write an examination, it creates not a level playing field. Definitely, native speakers of Hindi from North India will benefit out of this. So people from South are really afraid of this. So this actually has incited public anger. BJP is to be blamed for that. They played into the hands of Congress. They should not have done that. There is no need to impose or hoist Hindi over South Indians. Hindi actually has been spreading from south to north. Nowadays, people are moving across the country freely, and many South Indians know Hindi, speak Hindi. For example, in Kerala, before 25 or 30 years ago, if a North Indian comes to a South Indian Kerala village, he would have found it very difficult to interact with people. But nowadays the situation has changed because there are a lot of migrant laborers. These migrant laborers have learned Malayalam, many of them, and Keralites in turn have learned Hindi also. This is a two-way traffic. Now, how to grow a language, how to develop a language? It's not just by imposing it. These politicians, BJP leadership should realize that how English became a universal language. English became a universal language because of the industrial power of Britain and the military power of Britain. because everybody wants to speak the language of the rich guy. Everybody wants to learn the language of the powerful guy because they need to get jobs, they need to establish links with the powerful people. So if you want to spread Hindi, you develop states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar and Jharkhand or other states, then naturally you become very strong, you become influential. People will, on their own, suo moto, they will learn Hindi, but not by threats. Nowadays, people, Kannadigas see that people from Bihar and UP flood to Bengaluru for job. They are seen as poor people. A poor man never evokes I mean, a poor man evokes sympathy, not respect. So, first of all, you need to develop these states. Then, the second aspect is that uh, when you put forward an argument that Hindi should be developed to link India, actually, Hinduism is the culture that links India, not there is no need for imposing Hindi. But I agree that developing Hindi is good for even South Indians. We all learn Hindi naturally. That should not be an imposition. It's a natural process. If you allow people to interact freely, if you create an atmosphere of friendship between South and North, I am sure that people from South will eagerly learn Hindi because they all want to come to North, they all want to visit holy places in the North. You learn Hindi naturally. I mean, the number of Hindi speaking people in Kerala might have quadrupled in the last, say, 25 years. I have been told by certain North Indian migrant laborers, especially those who work in restaurants, that when they came to Kerala for the first time, very few people knew Hindi, and they were also finding it difficult to interact with customers. But nowadays they say after they learned Malayalam, many of the customers are speaking to them in Hindi. So this is a very friendly development. Don't allow politicians to take mileage out of this. Even right from 1960s in Tamil Nadu, Dravidian politicians used to exploit this language, feeling, emotions, create antagonism against North Indians because they wanted to reduce the influence of Congress. See, at that point of time, Congress was the whipping boy. So DMK incited passions against North Indians. I still remember that North Indians were called Gosais in Kerala that time, and Hindi there, and the left parties used to incite feeling against Hindi. But those days are over now because we need North Indian laborers, and we also have realized that when I went to Delhi for the first time, many people warned me that there will be antagonism against you in Delhi. But when I lived in Delhi, I found that I was never discriminated against by North Indians. So these myths are being spread by politicians with an ulterior motive. They want to exploit this and gain something out of it. Yeah, they entrench themselves. This is what is happening in Karnataka also. So, moreover, Kannada people should realize that even Karnataka is not a homogeneous state. You look at coastal Karnataka, where Tulu is the language. In South Kannada, North Kannada, Udupi, etc., Tulu is the language. Many Tulu friends have complained to me that Kannada government, the Kannada dominated government at Bengaluru was suppressing their culture and their language. The number of Tulu medium schools have come down. They are being replaced by Kannada medium schools. Similarly, in Coorg district, Kannada is not their language. Kodava is another language. Their culture is different. I say, the Tulu people and Kodagu people, they even look different from Bengalurians, original Kannadigas. So, Kannada, no state in India is, for that matter, is homogeneous. So, you should not claim that. If you try to impose Kannada, then a resentment will build in Kannada itself. So, it's going to create a very difficult situation. Don't go for that. Another aspect is that this, many of the investors in Bengaluru are not Kannadigas. They are migrants. For example, in Infosys, Narayanamurthy and a couple of other guys may be Kannadigas, but there are, for example, Chris Gopalakrishnan is a Malayali, and many of the companies in Karnataka are the major investors are people from North India. Punjabis are there. So if you insist that only Kannadigas have the right to live there, I think this is going to create a tough situation. Investors will also flee, not the laborers or working class. Professionals and investors will flee from Bengaluru. That will take the sheen out of Bengaluru. It's not going to benefit anybody. You know, many people, when a city develops, there will be many cultural groups inside the city, there will be many language groups. So, suppose people from what Karnataka government needs to do is that they need to develop all parts of Karnataka equally. The problem I think with many parts of the Karnataka is that though Karnataka overall is a very rich state, many parts of Karnataka are underdeveloped. Education needs to be reorganized, education sector. You need to prepare Kannadigas for the competition. You need to make them more competitive. If I have worked in Gulf, I have found that not many Kannadigas except those from coastal belt, that is the Tulu belt, are there working. You might say that B.R. Shetty. B.R. Shetty is actually a Tulu. People like Tulu people are very competent. They are very aggressively, they can survive anywhere. For example, in Mumbai you go, you find a lot of Udupi restaurants. But for the rest of Kannadigas, you find very few number of them. But this is not the case with Tamil people, Malayalis or Andhra people. You go anywhere in the world, you find a lot of people from all classes, from the lower class, middle class and upper class, from investors, professionals and laborers from these states, migrating and surviving and becoming successful in other parts of the world. This is not the case with Kannadigas. I think Karnataka government is responsible for that. So make yourself more competitive, reorganize your education sector, and realize that if you want to grow your language, then you cannot do by imposing it. Don't do by threatening it. This will create a bad impression. People, even as tourists, even I don't think of going to Bengaluru because I don't know how people are going to receive me, even as a tourist. I don't want to come there for work, but always remember this. So let's all sit together, find a solution. Let's become more friendly. Let all languages develop. That's for now. Meet you with another topic next time. Till then, goodbye.